Okay. And this is case number 2021 CR 48. Ms. Stevenson, where are we with this case?
Judge, I'm going to ask for another continuance. I have not been able to locate Miss Grandman Greenwood. I did check all avenues I could think of, but I'm just going to request a continuance. And if the court grants that, I will continue to look.
Okay. Am I remembering this correctly? We thought that she might be in treatment somewhere, but we weren't able to find that out.
That's correct, Judge. I did contact her probation officer out of Sumner County, and I was not able to confirm that information.
Okay. And so the probation officer in Sumner County doesn't know where she is?
He does not.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Richa, what's your position on this?
I believe I asked this last week, and Your Honor gave Ms. Stevenson another chance to try to, look in every crevice she can, and it sounds like she's done that, trying to find where Ms. Grandman Greenwood is. So I'd request a bench warrant.
And I'm going to grant the bench warrant. What would you suggest as a bond?
I think a $10,000 cash or surety would be sufficient.
Okay. Before you said that, I had already written down $10,000. So I was thinking along the same lines. So yeah, I'm going to issue a bench warrant with $10,000 cash or surety bond. And Ms. Stevenson, thanks for your diligence in trying to find your client.
Of course.
And you had a bunch of continuances.
Yes.
Did you have someone else in custody?
Yes, Miss McFadden.
Okay. Here we go. I'm going to let the jail in now.
Okay.
Good morning.
Hello.
Could we get Ms. McFadden?
All righty, I'll get her.
Judge, while we're waiting on her, Mr. Westerman, I think, is the only other one that I had left. And I do have the last piece of information that Mr. Richa is needing, and I will be actually running that down to his office at about 10:30 this morning. So if we could just set that for check journal entry, I think we'll have it all resolved today.
All right. Is check journal entry for next week, August 5th? Is that good for both of you?
That's fine.
Could be.
Okay. We'll set
I believe
that.
Ms. Stevenson has the order prepared, and I've approved it at some point. We just had a little bit of a snafu there. So
I'm just going to set up for a check journal entry for next Thursday at 9:30, and that'll fall off as soon as we get it.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and we are here in case number 2021 CR 110, State of Kansas versus Tracy McFadden. Mr. Rich is here for the state. Ms. McFadden is here via Zoom with her counsel, Ms. Stevenson. Ms. Stevenson, where are we with this case?
Thank you, Judge. We are requesting an OR bond today. Ms. McFadden is going to, I believe, be serving a little bit of time in KDOC. And from the beginning, our hope was to get Ms. McFadden into treatment. I believe that that's been an underlying issue throughout her life, and I wanted to be able to help with that. We were well into that. We had gotten the drug and alcohol evaluation, and actually it recommended inpatient treatment. So SAC was looking for an inpatient bed when Mr. Richa informed me that the parole officer was going to request that she serve 90 days in KDOC and that they wouldn't allow her to go to treatment before that. So what we'd like to do is get her an OR bond so she can go ahead and be transferred to KDOC to start that time. And then after that, issue a warrant so that she is brought back here to jail when she's done with that 90 days. And then we can resume looking for an inpatient bed for her.
All right. Yeah.
I've discussed that with my client, and it was her idea. So to do it that way, just so that, because she truly wants treatment. And I think that this shows that she does.
All right. Mr. Richa, what's your position?
Judge, I think it's a good idea. Under these circumstances, there are some things that Ms. McFadden's going to have to face regardless of what we do. So we might as well let her face that. And then if there's a way we can facilitate treatment, regardless of what the ultimate outcome is, I can't see that wouldn't be a positive. So this allows us to do that. So I'm agreeable to it.
All right. And so I'm going to grant a $2,500 OR bond for Ms. McFadden. And then Mr. Richa, will you take care of the warrant for her? Is that something that you'll file later, or do I need to order that today?
Well, there's a couple of different ways we could do that. I guess I'm not necessarily opposed to either. What I'd probably do is, once I've confirmed that Ms. McFadden's been picked up, because I don't want to then issue the warrant too early. She can't go deal with KDOC, and then we're going back. So we'll have to set a new court date for this. I would suggest what we do is continue this approximately 30 days, knowing that very likely Ms. McFadden will be in KDOC custody. And then at that time, we can make that determination and then issue the warrant so we can get her back so she doesn't get lost over there, and then we can set up treatment. Yeah,
and that's what I was concerned about, doing a warrant too early.
Sure.
So Ms. Stevenson, is okay with you if we just set this for August 26th at 9:30, just as a control date, so we can get this all figured out?
Yes, and we should be able to tell where Ms. McFadden's at that point. I would think that's point in time.
All right, so I'm going to grant the OR bond, and then we'll set the next court date for August 26th at 9:30. Ms. McFadden, you may appear at that by Zoom, or however they'll let you do it in KDOC.
Okay.
And hope you can come back and get the help you need.
I'm going to get the help I need.
Oh, we're all for that. Thank you. It looks like you've got people here that want to help you. So
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
So we'll keep track of this and see you all on this case next month.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Anything further, Ms. Stevenson?
No, Judge, I think that's all I have this morning.
Okay. Anything further with Ms. McFadden, Mr. Richard?
No, Judge.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I think next we have Mr. Miranda. Is that correct? Thank you.
She was on it.
Good morning, Mr. O'Hara.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? You're waiting on Mr. Miranda?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I signed an agreed order this morning on the bond.
Yes.
So that's already been done.
I saw that, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Well, thank you all for working all that out.
I don't think Mr. Miranda knows. I haven't been able to tell him since we spoke about it, so.
Okay.
How are you guys doing? Busy?
For Kingman County, we sure are.
It's it's been busy in Kingman County, and then we're dealing with the recent spike in the pandemic. So.
Yeah, I don't know what that's going to do. I noticed that in state buildings now, I guess you have to wear a mask, I think. So I don't know whether that's going to influence us. What does that do to you guys in the courthouse? Do you know?
We haven't heard anything. I've been, we were trying to ease back into doing in-person hearings, but for the dockets, let everybody do the option of being on Zoom. And yeah, we haven't really heard anything from at least I haven't on the Supreme Court. Of course, I'm just a magistrate, so I'm usually the last one to know.
Well, we're way behind you.
So
Yeah. Population density kind of doesn't make that easy.
This is case number 2021 CR 95, State of Kansas versus Herman Miranda. Mr. Miranda's here via Zoom with counsel Charles O'Hara, and Mr. Rich is here from the state. And just to catch you up, Mr. Miranda, I signed an agreed order lowering your bond to $5,000 cash as surety this morning, and also giving you permission to live with your family in Iowa. Mr. O'Hara, what else do we need to take up this morning?
Well, Your Honor, since it's for status, I think we don't have all the reports. I think we're still awaiting some lab reports. So in light of hopefully Mr. Miranda bonding out, I've talked a little bit with his family. I'm hopeful he'll be able to bond out. So we'd probably like to set it over for another status, Your Honor, if we could.
All right. Will 30 days give you enough time, or do you want to go farther out?
I don't know about the lab report. Maybe Mr. Ritchie can answer that.
Well, that's a good question, and one that has been all over the place. This is a little bit of different situation in how things were packaged and how they appeared. So law enforcement actually had to drive everything up to Great Bend to the lab there. They've been kind of all over the place depending on what the substance was, on how they've done it. I think 30 days is a good place to start. If we're getting close to that 30-day and I still don't have it, of course, Mr. O'Hara and I can discuss whether we need to extend that out or not if his client has been bonded out, and we can look at it at that point.
And that's fine with me, Your Honor. I would ask that if we set it out and Mr. Miranda does bond out, that he be allowed to appear by Zoom rather than drive back from Iowa.
Right, and that's that I was just getting ready to say, when he bonds out, we need to make sure that he gets the information for the Zoom link, and obviously, Mr. O'Hara, you have that, and so we need to make sure he gets that. Also, am I remembering correctly? He's going to be on electronic monitoring.
That was the agreement, Your Honor. He'll have to be on electronic monitoring, but he can go to Iowa.
Okay, great. So yeah, let's be sure and get him the information he needs to sign into Zoom, and we'll continue this for control purposes to 9:30 a.m. on August 26th. Anything else we need to take up, Mr. O'Hara?
No, Your Honor, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Mr. Rich, anything else you need from Mr. Miranda?
No, Judge, thank you.
Okay.
And Judge, that'll be by Zoom, correct?
It is.
Okay, thank you.
It is. Or whatever happens next week. But yeah, I'm just gonna plan on everything happening by Zoom, and unless we get to a evidentiary hearing, and we've been doing those in person, but I'm telling everybody just follow the CDC recommendations. If we come back in person, we're all going to be wearing masks probably. So, although we could do something hybrid, I really don't like to do evidentiary hearings like that. So we'll play that by ear. But yeah, for these status conferences, definitely by Zoom.
All right, thank you very much, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Miranda, we'll see you next month.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm Mr. O'Hara. Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh,
You're free to leave, Your Honor.
You are.
Thank you.
And I believe that's all we have for this morning.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Rich, just to double check on something, was Mr. Hernandez Torres was continued, is that correct?
And as Torres.
Or did I had him on my printed thing, but I don't have it up here.
Oh, yes, yeah. We've been in contact with council and asked, basically, we're going through the diversion process, and I believe he was to submit the order I looked at, so.
And I think he did, and I signed it, but I forgot to make a note of it, so I just wanted to make sure.
Yes,
And that looks like it takes care, what I've got, that takes care of us for this morning.
that's what I have as well.
Okay, so we'll see you this afternoon.
All right, see you then. Thank